In this course, you'll go through different chapters explaining the many different aspects that require you to get started. First, we will discuss the preparation process, such as how to set goals and plans, the skills that you need, and how much it could potentially cost to start your own project. We will then discuss the planning process. Before you start creating your project, you first need to choose a market and audience that you want to work with. Once you have chosen this, you can then create your brand and team if you want to work with others. After we discuss how to create a brand, we will then discuss social media and how to include all social media outlets into your planning process. Social media is one of the most important aspects of creating a brand, as most people use these sites on a daily basis. We will explain how to get a large amount of followers, how to get people to see your social media sites, how to network, market, and advertise your brand, and how to create a mailing list. Once all of your websites are completed and you have a substantial following, you are then able to approach sponsors, which is the part where you get paid. So we will explain to you how to find, approach, and use specific language to get the sponsors you want and need to monetize your brand. Although this may seem like a daunting task, this course will break down the process into many steps that make it much easier for you to organize and easily complete each step with ease. The very first step in this process is making sure you truly want to do this. Hearing about digital nomads and their way of life always sounds amazing to those on the outside. However, it's far from perfect. Digital nomads constantly run into obstacles that are difficult to get through. There are times when you might make no money at all, your website fails without you understanding why, or your sponsor may not pay you for months at a time. There can also be unexpected traveling challenges as well, such as cancelled flights, running out of money, or becoming injured. These situations will always seem especially stressful because you're always experiencing them in new places you're not familiar with, and you probably won't speak the language, which makes it even more difficult to communicate. These are just a few of the challenges you may face while traveling and working online. Traveling while working online is a fantastic way of life. However, it's not always easy and it's not always happy. So just make sure that you are ready for the unknown ahead of you. Once you decide that you are willing and able to handle these types of situations, you are ready to begin the next step. Just like any business or project, nothing positive is going to happen without some investment. You will need to invest your time and your money to launch your project. It's impossible to predict how long it will take you since it will all be a matter of effort mixed with luck. If you reach out to the right people on the perfect timing, you can be on the road to getting paid, to travel for free, and living the dream in just a few months. On the other hand, it may take you a year or more to get your project out there and settle your business venture. To start, you will have to plan your time investment. Are you going to get down on this full time? Or will you keep working on your regular job and use your free time for your new project? Schedule your time so you can start making your new project part of a daily routine. On a financial level, you should consider the different investments you will need to adjust it to your budget and money you're willing to invest. You can start your venture with less than €100 if you're on a budget, but it will take you more time to achieve your goals if you have no previous experience with design, online marketing, and web development. If it is your first online adventure, you may consider getting team members with the skills you don't have or outsource the services. Fiverr.com is a good place to get cheap work done. The most relevant investments you have to consider to begin are the following: domain, website host, WordPress theme, design, and social media ads. Becoming a full-time traveler is not for everyone. Being constantly on the move requires that you love what you do and you're truly in love with traveling and getting to know new people and places constantly. You will need to have good social and networking skills and be prepared to go through good and bad times on the road. It won't always be perfect, like most photos you may see on travel bloggers, Instagram, or Facebook pages. So here's a skills checklist. Be happy to stay in a variety of accommodation types, from 5-star resorts down to backpacker shacks. Have a love of travel and a desire to see far-off places. Possess a decent level of English language writing skill. Consider writing in another language if you want to target a less competitive market. Understand how to use good quality photographic equipment. Understand how to use web-hosted blogging services such as WordPress. Be able to integrate customers' paid advertising banners into your own blog pages. Be able to pitch successfully to travel and non-travel print magazines around the world. Be open to learning new skills on the road. A willingness to learn social media and marketing, Photoshop and design, sales skills, and persuasion. You don't need to master all of the previous skills, but you must have a basic notion on most of them, or be working with members that are good in what you're not, or also be prepared to outsource tasks you are unable to complete. Many things will happen to you while you travel, some good, some bad, some in between. No matter what though, if you aren't open to the experience, you will always be longing for home. You'll likely have a miserable time, and you won't be able to enjoy the cultures you're in. So if there's one thing you need most when you travel, it's the ability to adapt. Lack of genuine connection and commitment to their goals is the main reason most people never reach the goals they set. Before you start making random decisions without any planning, you need to set your goals and take the time to figure them out. Once you've figured out what you really want to do, you still need a strategy for accomplishing it. Your goals are not going to get you anywhere if you don't actually do something about them. And not just anything, but the right things. So here's a very straightforward, fail-proof goal-setting template for achieving your goals. I say it's fail-proof not because error isn't possible. No one can predict the future or control all circumstances. But if you follow this plan, you'll accomplish more than you would under any other plan you've been testing out. First, focus on only 1 to 2 major goals. Figure out what your one major goal is for your first year. This is the hardest part for most people because choosing just one big goal to pursue requires extreme focus and connection to purpose. But it's really important that you stick to just 1 or 2 major goals. Goals to me are different than habit changes. Your 1 to 2 goals should be so big that it would take an entire year to accomplish. If you were only to accomplish just these 1 to 2 things, you'd feel like you had an incredibly successful year. Here are some examples. To have 50,000 followers on your Facebook page. To successfully launch a startup and drive $20,000 in revenue. To work with 3 of the best travel magazines. To learn how to code a new language, or to visit 20 countries. Based on what you really want to accomplish, where your deepest values, passions, and skills intersect, choose 1 to 2 goals to focus on for the rest of the year. Don't aim for reasonable. Be a little bit unreasonable. What do you really want to accomplish in the next 365 days? That's what you should make your goal. 2. Create monthly sub-goals. Once you've created your 1 to 2 major goals, create monthly sub-goals for each one. The idea is that your monthly sub-goals would very clearly lead you to accomplishing your major goals for the year. As a note, I'd recommend planning for 12 months, but you can certainly plan for 6 months, 18, or whichever number you feel most comfortable with. Here's an example. My big goal is to learn how to code a new language. My monthly sub-goals are these. April, apply and get into a beginner HTML or CSS class. May, take a starter class and code my own personal blog for practice. June, continue taking SL class, finish coding the blog, and work on a demo day project. July, finish SL class and find a company to let me do front-end coding for free to help them redesign a website. August, apply and get into the Advanced HTML CSS class. September, continue taking class, finish up coding for the company side project. October, finish SL class and take on one more front-end freelance project for another company. November, finish freelance project number 2 and apply to a minimum of 8 front-end developer jobs. December, interview with companies, apply to 5 more jobs if necessary, and land a full-time job by December 31st. When you break your major goal down this way, you can see the natural progression of your goal and exactly what needs to be done each month in order for you to achieve your main goal by December 31st. Breaking it down this way makes the end goal seem even more tangible. It will get you super excited about the idea of taking on your plan and tackling that one big, amazing goal of yours. Is it possible that you could do all of this perfectly and still not get your main goal? Of course, but you're significantly more likely to achieve it if you actually plan like this versus no planning at all, or using one of the more tedious, less user-friendly goal-setting strategies out there. 3. Create weekly mini-goals. Working online and on the move can be hard, and you will find out that 20% of your work drives 80% of your results. Now, the question is, which systems can you put in place to do less of the 80% of activity that isn't generating results, and more of the 20% that actually is? Here's an example. 80% of the work that doesn't necessarily drive a ton of results could be checking your email for 4 hours a day, using social media too often throughout the day, taking too many meetings during the week. Strategies to eradicate the above issues could be check your email for only 2 hours a day, 1 hour between 11 and 12 midday, and 1 hour before 4 and 5 p.m. Block social media websites between the hours of 9 a.m. and 12 midday, and 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. using one of the distraction blocking apps. Only take meetings on Tuesday and Thursdays from 12 to 3 p.m. If it doesn't fit into the other person's schedule, the meeting gets pushed to the following week. Exceptions can be made, but only if the meeting is of extremely high importance or urgency. Once you create a list of strategies, use those, in addition to your set of monthly sub-goals, as a guide, and create around 50 mini-goals. This is about 4 mini-goals per month, 1 for each week. Each mini-goal should take no longer than a week to accomplish. Essentially, the mini-goals are a way to further break down your monthly goals into highly manageable weekly chunks. When you break your monthly sub-goals down like this, you basically create a detailed roadmap for making stuff happen. It seems so obvious, but no one plans like this, and that's why most people fail. In addition to not creating strategies to eradicate triggers that lead to wasting time. 4. Do your weekly planning. Based on the weekly goals you outlined for the current month you're in, you need to set aside 30 minutes to create a weekly plan of attack for accomplishing your mini goal for the week ahead. At the beginning of every week, you should know exactly what you're looking to accomplish every day to achieve your weekly mini goal, so that you can move on to your next mini goal, in order to move on to your next sub goal, in order to accomplish your one major goal. 5. Do your daily planning. Once you've done your weekly planning, you need to set aside time to plan every single task for the upcoming day. I've soaked up a ton of productivity advice over the last several years, and this is something I hear from pretty much every productivity guru and successful person out there. You have to plan your own success. If you don't break it down to what you'll do every day, then there's no way you'll accomplish your weekly, monthly, or annual goals. Basically, if you don't plan daily, you're screwed. Either you're going to own your day or your day is going to own you. I see an enormous difference in my own productivity when I plan it out thoroughly versus just winging it. Of course, your daily plan needs to go hand in hand with the strategies you implement to actively avoid time-wasting triggers and activities. This is really important. Make sure you get this task done before you do anything else on your daily task list. Do your top 3 tasks in order before you do anything else, and get them out of the way. Each task should take no longer than 90 minutes. And yes, it is possible to get your tasks done in under 90 minutes, depending on complexity. I've timed it plenty of times. As an example, I need to publish content daily for 55secrets.com, but if I just focus on that, we'll have a lot of content, but not that much growth. For me, a major sub-goal would be focusing on growth strategy. Therefore, while very important, editing and publishing articles is actually not a top task for me. In such a competitive world as the travel industry and blogging, the best way to achieve success is to be better and different from everyone else. There are thousands of bloggers, marketers, travelers, and companies out there working for years on the market. So your best bet is to select a market and an audience you know about and work unexplored markets. If you are going to start doing the same as everyone else, you either have to be really unique or come out with super innovative ideas. Otherwise, you will just be wasting your time. No one is going to pay attention to your ideas if you are just doing the same as everyone else. The key is that if you are entering the travel industry, you need to bring something new and different. When we started with 55 Secrets, we targeted our market to people who wanted to experience each place from the perspective of locals. That way, we knew we were aiming at travelers who were not looking for the package tours, but would like to spend longer in the same place and mingle with the locals. All our campaigns and marketing strategies were set with that audience in mind, and we used the motto, skip the tourist trap, explore like a local, to make sure we let our prospect customers and audience know that's what we are all about. If you're planning to start your travel venture, the first step is to consider who are your prospect customers and audience and what they need or may need. Study the demographics, the average age of people who would be interested in your topic and other kind of interests they may have, and how easy it would be for you to connect and reach them. Age range is a fundamental factor for the success of your project and one of the most relevant key elements when you seek for partnerships and sponsors. Someone in their 30s has a totally different perspective and budget when it comes to traveling than someone, say, in their 20s who's just graduated and doesn't have a stable job. All of these aspects will be key when you select what your niche audience will be. Knowing who your intended audience is, including their age range and particular interests, may save you a lot of time and failed attempts, and therefore a lot of money. One of the best ways to learn and avoid mistakes is to check all your competitors' work and find the mistakes they are making, and work on those gaps to make your content and projects better than theirs. Check their marketing, social media promotions, event concepts, branding, and the partners they work with, and take notes on what they do. Take a deeper look at their websites and social media channels, and think about what they are doing well and where you could improve. Talk with them in person and with others who follow them and have worked with them, and ask them what they like the most and what they don't. Gathering all this information from different competitors will bring you a big advantage because you will be able to pick all the positive aspects and combine them to make a much more efficient branding and business plan. Before starting 55 Secrets, we spent several days reading some of the biggest names on the online travel industry and analyzing their performances, their approach to their followers, and we contacted several of them in person and by email to ask more details about their business. Several of them were kind enough to share the insight and enlightened us on the ups and downs they had during their first months or years in the industry, and how hard they had to work to reach the level they achieve today. I have an online marketing and online business development background, So that helped me and saved me a lot of time when it came to setting my goals for the project and the marketing planning. But having the insight and research done on the competitors was one of the most useful parts of the planning that led us to success and to be able to grow our audience and reach sponsors in just a few months. Here are some tips on how to gather information on your competitors. First, go beyond a Google search. There's no doubt that any research project these days should begin with a simple Google search or visiting your competitor's webpage. But there are also a variety of tools either supplied by Google or that relate to Google's search results and AdWords campaigns that might give you interesting insights into your competition. Here are a few. SpyFu, a great resource to research what keywords and AdWords your competitors are buying. Google Alerts. Keep alerts for all of your competitors to know what they are up to. Google AdWords. Using this tool, you'll be able to know what people in your area are searching, and you can also know how many people search specific queries each month, and the months those searches are more popular may help you to select when to do your events. Secondly, tap the social network. Given how travel-related companies are increasingly using social networking sites like Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter as marketing outlets these days, you might be able to pick up interesting facts about your competition and maybe even your own company just by tuning in. Monitoring tweets, Facebook posts, blogs, and other new media mentions of your competition is an easy, cost-effective way to stay in tune and in the know about the public sentiment about your competitors. In a similar vein, you can track your competition by keeping a very close eye on review sites, such as Yelp, CitySearch, or TripAdvisor. You can scour through reviews to find mentions of your competitors' ups and downs, and then target that particular mistake to make your event even better than theirs, and always be one step ahead of the competition. Number 3, ask their customers. When it comes to identifying sources of information about your competition, don't skip over the obvious ones, like their customers. Speaking to customers is one of the best and cheapest ways of gathering real information on competitors. If you are working and have contact with your followers or customers, do the same when you lose a customer. Identify what they preferred about your competitor. If you gather enough of these stories, you'll get a very clear idea on what competitors are offering that customers view as preferable to you and any other event organizers. You can then use this to adjust your own offering to beat that of other competitors. 4. Attend event conferences. Attending industry trade shows and conferences, as well as joining industry associations, can be a great way to learn about who your competitors are and what they're offering. If you do it away from your own location, you'll be able to learn from others and get some ideas of what works in different cities or countries, and bring that concept back to your town and be innovative. 5. Hire your competition. Another strategy is to hire employees from competing firms and team up with competitors' partners. No one knows more about the inside of those organizations than the employees themselves. Find out all that you can about how these companies operate, and more importantly, what's on the horizon for them. Where are they taking their business? What markets are they venturing into? How are they leveraging innovation to cut costs and advance productivity? Where is the highest level of dissatisfaction with their events? No one has more and better intelligence when it comes to an organization than someone who has seen and learned from the inside. 7. Watch who they're hiring. You can also learn something by studying the kinds of jobs your competitors are looking to fill. For example, if a competitor is hiring a programmer, they will include information about exactly which technologies the candidates need to know, which tells you what they may be working on and developing for their events. 8. Conduct a survey. If you're interested in getting a comprehensive report of all the players in your area, you might consider conducting a survey. You can hire someone to email several of your competitors and ask them the same questions about their services. If you are doing this, you should outsource it, since you don't want to run into someone you are spying on at your next event. 9. Call them. Once you have done enough research to identify who your competitors are, you might want to try an old school tactic to take it from there. Just call them up and ask whatever you'd like. You'd be surprised how often companies will tell you everything you'd like to learn over the phone, especially if the question is phrased in a context that makes sense. Team size and composition affect team processes and outcomes. The optimal size and composition of teams depends on the scope of the team's goals. With too few people, a team will not have the resources and skills it needs to complete its tasks. Too many members can make communication and coordination difficult and lead to poor team performance. If you are starting out on a small budget and it's your first adventure, you may start on your own, but as you grow, you may aim to have team members to work with and split the different tasks. As you grow, you will need a core leading team that you can trust and that can cover different kinds of tasks, different people with different skill sets. So if you can create a team of 3 to 5 members that will cover the most important areas of the business, you are halfway to a successful team. Also, consider that if you are sharing the profits equally, you should make sure everyone will be working on the same level. You don't want someone who is doing half of the work to get the same amount of money, especially because this will lead to internal stress among team members, which also affects the quality of work. Also, make sure that everyone joining the team is aware that it may take a long time until the projects become profitable and you actually get to travel and explore the world for free. If your partners or team members are expecting to see sponsors and payments done on short term, you may consider working with someone else. The mix of knowledge and expertise on a team is also important. Individuals should be selected for teams so that as a whole, the group has all the expertise needed to achieve its goals. For this reason, cross-functional teams may be larger than groups formed to work on less complex activities. Similarly, a task force charged with making recommendations in a short time frame would benefit from having fewer members. The 7 key elements for a team are the following. The creative, ideas, research, concepts. Network and seller. You will need someone with good selling skills to make the best agreements with partners and sponsors and to present your project well. Logistics. A team leader setting all the planning and managing tasks. Financial. Budgeting, payments, and any other money-related issues. Branding and marketing. Setting all your marketing plans and promotions on social media. Legal. All the legal issues and insurances to make sure everything is covered. If you can create a leading team with members that master all these 7 areas, it would be perfect, but it's unlikely you will get members to be experts in more than 1 or 2 areas, so you may have to outsource some of the tasks. If you are starting small, you can probably find a friend that will give you a hand in exchange for a coffee. But if you want to scale a bigger project, make sure you are hiring someone professional that will get the job done. You may regret saving those €100 on a professional designer or Facebook ads expert when you see the results you can achieve when a task is done by the experts. First, you must understand that a brand is a promise. A brand is an asset. When defining and creating a brand for your business, it's important to understand who you are as an organization and how you want to be perceived in the market. A brand affects your audience, clients, and prospects and what they believe about you from a visual perspective. Think about it as a visual first impression. When establishing a brand identity, the practice of personifying your event company is an incredibly useful exercise, accompanied with intricate audience persona research and development, mapping out your core values, mission statement, and differentiators will guide you as you map out your events company exterior-facing identity. With 55 Secrets, we've established that we would like our brand to reflect a positive, confident, adventurous, local-friendly, not touristic, professional, and fresh image. That identity reflects an environment of expertise and professionalism, with a young but serious attitude that leads young and more mature crowds to trust the concept and the brand. A strong and compelling brand is essential. It is not a mental exercise or a marketing campaign. It is a vital component of your organization, and its strength and clarity directly impact your success in fulfilling your mission. But how do you build a brand? Repetition. Brand value emerges as all messengers tell your story consistently. When an effective message is presented in a disciplined, passionate, and consistent way, the whole becomes greater than the sum of its parts. Building a strong brand requires discipline. The key component of a unified image is unified behavior. A brand is your most valuable asset. Used correctly, it is the simplest way to communicate to your customers and audience that trusted experts are enhancing their business with the latest advances in your company's area of expertise. The collection of these thoughts and ideas, the brand guide, is the inclusion of a simple, clear, and focused articulation of the events company as it is to be portrayed both visually and personally. It can directly influence the mood of your audience. A strong brand can build confidence, optimism, and respect from those who support it the most. Here are 6 reasons why a strong brand is important for the long term. 1. Branding improves recognition. One of the major components of your brand is your logo. Think of how we instantly recognize the golden arches of McDonald's or the simple but powerful eagle of USPS. As the face of a company, logo design is critical because that simple graphic will be on every piece of correspondence and advertising. A professional logo design is simple enough to be memorable, but powerful enough to give the desired impression of your company. If you are starting on a low budget, again I would recommend using Fiverr.com to find a freelancer that will do a decent job to start for something as cheap as $5. 2. Branding creates trust. A professional appearance builds credibility and trust. People are more likely to attend an event that appears polished and legitimate. Emotional reactions are hardwired into our brains, and those reactions are very real influencers. 3. Branding supports advertising. Advertising is another component of your brand. Both the medium chosen and demographic targeted for advertisements builds a brand. If you will be promoting and aiming at a local level, you may want to focus on that specific market and expand it later if you are successful. 4. Branding builds financial value. A strong brand usually guarantees future business. Whether you are looking for a sponsor to pay for your hotel or a sponsor to support a trip for an entire team, they will believe in you as a more valuable company, and it will make the process advantageous for all your arrangements if you have a strong brand. The greater a company's devotion to build its brand value, the better the financial return from its efforts. 5. Branding inspires employees. Many employees need more than just work. They need something to work for and to work towards. When employees understand your mission and reason for being, they are more likely to feel the same pride and work in the same direction to achieve the goals you have. Having a strong brand is like turning the company logo into a flag that the rest of the company can rally around. 6. Branding generates new customers. Branding enables your company to get referral business. Would it be possible for you to tell a friend about the awesome party you went to last week if you couldn't remember the brand? A large reason brand is the word used for this concept is that the goal is an indelible impression. As the most profitable advertising source, word-of-mouth referrals are only possible in a situation where your event company has delivered a memorable experience with your customer. The most profitable companies, small and large, have a single thing in common. They have established themselves as a leader in their particular industry by building a strong brand.
When it comes to social media, everyone wants in on the action. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Pinterest are all highly active social media networks, not to mention the countless other little sites on the web today. Everyone wants to gain social media recognition for their business. Having a good social media presence can help your business grow like wildflower, but this will only happen after you develop a large following and learn how to give them what they really want. And that's hard to do before you are active on your topic. If a prospective customer or partner is looking to know how powerful and good you are, they will most likely Google you, check your website, and how many people like or follow your social media channels. Having a uniform image of your brand online is a good way to start your connections. Set up your Facebook page, your Instagram account, buy your domain, and use an email account from your domain instead of a generic Hotmail or Gmail account. And make sure your message is the same in all your channels. You will not have a lot of likes and followers when you start, and growing your social network reach is one of the most relevant, if not the most important, tasks of your project to get sponsors and partners to believe and invest in you. Make sure your website is functional and that you have the main goals of your project and an About Us page, so people can associate the brand to you when you meet them in person for your first partnerships and connections. Before the 55 Secrets ebook and project started, we made the logo, the concept, the goals, and audience, and then we set our Facebook, Instagram, and website. We designed a Facebook cover and started posting regular photos of related topics and sharing them on travel-related Facebook groups. We also asked friends to like the page and invested some money in Facebook ads to grow an audience before anything was released. Doing this made us realize that people were actually interested in our topic, and they started to talk about it before we had even put something out there. It also made us notice that other bloggers liked our idea, and people started to share our content and posts. There are some basic rules for a strong online presence before the launch. First, complete your profile. Regardless of the platform you opt for, it's vital that you fill each informational section out as comprehensively as possible. Pay particular attention to your contact details and the key phrases that your customers might use to find you when browsing the platform. This will make it easy for people to locate you and ensures that they have all the information they need to transition from browser to follower to a customer or a partner. Look the part. Take the time to perfect the aesthetics on your social media pages. Naturally, you need to work within the framework of the medium. However, using high-resolution images and a strong brand image, you can ensure that any visitors you gain will have a great first impression. Consistency with the colors and font that you use will create a sense of familiarity, leaving a lasting memory with the consumer. Redirect existing traffic. Once your account is up and running, it's time to begin directing them to the page. This should allow you to engage with your prospective customers on a regular basis. Place fan or follower pages on your company website or on any other platforms that your business is present on to lead traffic to your new page. And be sure to mention it to any new prospective customers you come into contact with. During the conversation, be sure to interact with other users on groups or forums, which may lead them to follow you in return and will also help you to better visualize your customers' behavior. The aim of this activity is to present yourself as a knowledgeable and entertaining source of insight among your peers. Getting a large following is one of the slowest processes in creating a brand. This is because you need to constantly post content onto every social media site, so people who read your page will then share and tag others, which will then gather more readers and more likes onto your page. It is a slow process, but necessary for potential sponsors. There are many different ways you can create a large following on both Facebook and Instagram. One of the biggest ways to get followers is to post original and unique content. People are always looking for new pictures and quotes to share with others. So if your content is memorable, funny, or unique, people are more likely to share it than mundane, boring, and overshared ones. Another way to gain followers, if starting right from the source, is you. If you post your page onto your personal page, it's easier for your friends to like your brand from their newsfeed, which then shows their friends that they liked your page, creating a snowball effect. You can also put your brand links as your work in your About Me section. This way, if new friends look at that section, they may click on that link and see your brand and like your brand page as well. Similar to this, you can add your Facebook page link as a signature in your email. Think about how many emails you send per week. That is a lot of exposure right there. Another great way to add likes and followers is to create contests. If you post a small contest on your page, people will share your contest and talk about your page wanting to win. For example, it can be as simple as, like this page to win one of our weekly prizes. You can also comment on other people's popular pages related to your brand as your brand name. So if you comment thoughtful comments on other travel Facebook pages, fellow travelers will see your comments, click on your brand name, see your original content, and like your page. Again, a snowball effect. Lastly, you can advertise on Facebook. Although not free, it will reach a larger group of people and will boost your post for people to like and share, and it is the fastest way to grow on social media. You just have to consider how much are you willing to invest, and if the investment will be worth the return you will have from it in the future. Getting likes and shares on your website and on your social media outlets is important. With every like and share that is done, a social signal is generated and will be associated with your linked website. The more social signals you get, the better your chances of being prioritized by search engines such as Google or Yahoo. Getting a following on Instagram is similar to that of Facebook. You should post original and unique content that readers will share and comment on. Instagram has too many photos of meals, cats, and beaches, so make sure to upload pictures that are different from the rest to catch readers' eyes. Filters are always a great option to add a real feeling to your photos and make them look less mundane. On top of this, write a caption that is funny or interesting to also catch your reader's eye. Lastly, make sure your account is public so anyone is able to see your photos. Aside from simply posting pictures, you should get involved in the community. You should like other pages similar to your own and like or comment on their pictures. They will see that you do so and potentially follow you back if they like your content as well. You should also fill out your bio to explain to people who you are and include a link to your website. Also ask your friends and family to follow you. With just this group of people, you'd be surprised how many people you will be able to reach. Interact with your own following as well. Respond to questions and comments that people leave on your pictures. People love when they are responded to, especially when it comes from brands and pictures they particularly like. Similarly, you should ask your followers questions. This will increase the amount of comments you get and increase interaction. For example, you can say, "Share your story too," or double tap if you found this funny. Make sure to connect your Instagram account to your Facebook page. By posting the same picture to both outlets, you can increase your following on Facebook as well. People love photos because they are simple, nice to look at, and great to share with friends. By posting the Instagram photo on Facebook as well, you can double your following. With each picture, you should make sure you use hashtags, which are short words and phrases that describe and categorize each picture. They can help people search for your picture and add your image to current trends. If your image becomes one of the top images in a particular hashtag, many people will start following you because they liked your photo. Hashtags are incredibly important for gaining followers. However, limit yourself to only a few hashtags per picture. If there are too many hashtags, the reader will think the picture is too spammy and could stop following you or not share or comment. Users also love to know where pictures are taken. With every picture, geotag the picture, if possible. On top of that, Instagram also pulls up other pictures from that location. Therefore, other users who geotag with that same location will see your picture and may go to your profile and potentially start following you. There are multiple apps available to make your photos more appealing and impressive looking. You can use these apps to crop, lighten, darken, add text and effects, and much more. Some of these apps include Photo Editor by Aviary, Afterlight, Bokeful, and Overgram. You can also create collages to show progression or just multiple photos of one situation or place. You can use apps for this with PicStitch, InstaCollage, and Insta Pic Frame. When using all social media sites, you have to think about logistics, such as when is the best time to post content? Your followers' feeds are constantly updating with content from many different pages, so it is easy for your content to get lost in the sea of their newsfeed. The best times to post content is generally in the morning and after hours of their work. Instagram photos only last about 4 hours in their newsfeed, so make sure not to post in the middle of the night, for they may not see the photo at all. Make sure to spread your photos out. If you have many photos you want to share, do not post them all at once. Spread them out over a couple of days. If you post them all at once, people will simply skip over photos, thus not giving them the attention they deserve. On the other hand, if you don't post often enough, you will have difficulty maintaining followers and drawing in new ones, so make sure to find a good balance. If these tactics do not work, or you want a quicker method to gain followers, you can buy followers. With these apps, you can choose the package you want, from 100 to 1 million followers. If you do buy likes, however, know that there are some drawbacks. These followers will likely never interact with your photos and never leave comments, which will make your photos and your account seem a little bare. People will notice when you have a lot of followers and no activity, which can also turn them away, so just be aware of this. Although Pinterest doesn't get so much recognition nowadays, it is still important to have one. Pinterest accounts for 25% of retail referral traffic and generates 4 times more revenue per click than Twitter, and 27% more per click than Facebook. So it is always good to have Pinterest to get your name out there. Getting followers on Pinterest is similar to Facebook and Instagram. Share a lot. When more people see your shares, it will lead them to your page. You can also pin a lot of pictures. Sometimes, when you pin a picture, you see the option to follow a board where the same pin has been added. Furthermore, if you pin a lot of images people like, Pinterest will recommend you more often to people who pin the same image. This will attract a lot more followers. Remember, it is important to pin pictures that are related to your brand, so the people who follow you are genuinely interested in what you pin and what you share. For example, sharing and pinning tips if you are a marketing brand is a great way to stay on topic. You should also comment on popular pins. Popular pins are pins that have repinned, liked, and commented on several times. You should take advantage of this by commenting on these pictures to have people check out your own page, but make sure to comment meaningful comments, not just 2 words like great pic or cool shot. You can also tag others when you comment, where you state that the picture is similar to their own brand, or even compliment them. This will draw their attention and potentially bring them to your page. Beware though, too much commenting is considered spam by Pinterest and can lead to your account being suspended. So limit this process to only 2 or 3 times a day. Another way to get followers is to simply follow others. As with all the other social media sites, connect Pinterest to your Twitter and Facebook. This will reach a larger group of people and grow your following on these social media sites as well. Don't forget to include the Pinterest button on your website, alongside your Facebook and Instagram buttons. By doing this, you can also connect with friends. Once you connect your accounts, click on your business name on the top right corner of the screen and click Find Friends on the menu that appears. You can then choose the social networks you've connected to find friends and followers and follow them on Pinterest. Instead of focusing on your whole board, focus on just a few to get on the most popular boards and promote them to get more followers. One way to do this is to place your popular boards on the top of your page, so when people go to your brand page, the first thing they see are those boards. You should also follow others, just like Instagram and Facebook. If they see that you followed them, they will potentially follow you too. Another quick way to attract followers is to contribute to popular group boards that already have a lot of followers. On these boards, you should contribute quality pins, so their followers become your followers too. if they like your material. Same as Instagram or Facebook, a good way to get followers is to run contests. You can either have a content based on who follows you, or you can use a tool like Rafflecopter to give away a few extra entries for those who follow you. To keep your current followers happy, make sure to not share everything all at once. You need to spread it out over time so they remember you but don't get annoyed at the amount of posts you share. Also, make sure to stick to one topic per board. Followers easily get annoyed if you post irrelevant posts. It's okay to post many different topics on different boards, but don't just share randomly. Creating an email list is a great way to keep your readers updated on new changes, new contests you might be running, or sales that you are having. Plus, it reminds them about your brand consistently. So how do you acquire an email list? There are a few ways you can build one. Obviously, the emails you want are from the readers who are interested in your brand. One of the best ways to get this is through your website. Put an email sign-up box on every page of your website to have readers continue to follow what you are doing with your brand. If you are selling goods on your website, the most valuable emails are from those who have bought your goods because it shows their willingness to buy from you and trust you with their personal information. Make sure to make it easy for buyers to opt out and opt in for the email updates you will give when they buy your product. Growing your email is similar to advertising your business. You can speak to websites that have a similar content or user demographic. You can speak to these websites and ask for their email list and promise them advertising space in emails that you send. This way, you don't have to pay to advertise for your email list. If this method doesn't work, you can also pay for sign-ups to your email list on other websites. You can do this by buying a click-based advertising campaign, or you can offer to pay per valid email sign-up. Just make sure you truly understand how much you can spend on this advertising. To do this, keep it simple. Take a look at your last email you sent. If you had an email list of 100 people and generated $100 in revenue, then you can afford to spend $1 per email sign-up. You can also advertise your email list on other websites. Doing this is often more profitable than simply advertising on your own website. If you can give users a compelling reason to sign up for your email, like free offers or discount codes, then it is a much lower barrier to entry for most people to sign up for an email list than to make an initial purchase. Again, make sure you know how much you can afford to spend. Similar to this, you can use search marketing to build email lists. Build email landing pages specific to your email list, and then optimize for organized search engine placement or paid, click-based search engine advertising. Again, know how much you are willing to pay for this. If you are not well versed in the marketing areas of search engine optimization or search engine marketing, you may want to consider hiring a professional to help win both of these areas, as they are very complicated to learn. How to grow your email list. First and foremost, you need to send memorable email content. You need to send amazing content for people to stay subscribed and forward your emails to their friends, family, and colleagues that aren't already on your email list. Similarly, you should encourage your current email subscribers to share and forward your emails by including social sharing buttons and an email to a friend button. At the bottom of these emails, include a subscribe button as a simple text-based link so that those receiving the forwarded emails can easily opt in too. Just like social media, you should promote an online contest to get users involved. Have entrants sign up or submit to the contest using their email address. You can create multiple email subscription types that you use to send more targeted content to specific segments of your marketing personas. Email recipients are more likely to click through emails that have been targeted to them. So if you create targeted subscriptions, you'll increase the chance that visitors will subscribe to one of them. You should also include a link to your website as your signature when you send emails. When they click the link to your website and see an email subscription box, you can get more followers this way. You should also send new lead-generating offers. For example, a free ebook, and require visitors to provide their email in order to download it. You can also connect this through social media. Promote this lead-generating offer on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram. Create a campaign on one of these outlets to promote a free ebook or free resource to your followers that requires an email to redeem. Add a call to action button on the top of your Facebook page, which simply says "Sign up" next to the like button. Then, link this button to a landing page that requires an email address for access. Don't forget about your Pinterest page either. You can use Pinterest to promote offers that require email sign-up. For example, create a Pinterest board where you pin covers of ebooks. From that, you can generate new leads and grow your email list. Although the process of incurring and growing your email is slow, it is an important step to help get more followers and readers and to help make your brand grow. Although, again, the process is slow, it is important to get genuine email addresses rather than to simply buy an email list. This way, you know that all of the recipients who receive your email are genuinely interested in your product and won't report it as spam. Depending on the brand you are trying to grow, a YouTube channel can be useful to have. With YouTube, you have to ensure that you create content consistently and frequently. You should post a new video at least once a week. The more videos you have, the more popular your channel will become, as posting lots of videos will make people want to come back. Having many videos will also mean more search results and lead to more subscribers. Make sure not to post too many videos per week though, because it will clog your page and make it hard for viewers to find the videos they're looking for. Try and stick to a schedule of uploading videos. If you let people know when you are going to upload your next video, your viewers will then return to your page to view it. People are more likely to follow a channel with consistent content than those who just upload randomly and infrequently. Keep your content consistent. Make sure to stick to the theme of your channel, otherwise you will lose subscribers if they find that your content doesn't match their expectations. If you do want to make videos about several different themes and topics, create multiple channels. This will allow you to link between your channels, but keep your different content separate, so as to not confuse viewers. Make sure you properly tag your videos as well. If someone searched for a tag and your video comes up, but it's not what they are looking for, they will most likely never return to your page. Good tags will make your videos appear in relevant searches. Use single words as well as multiple words, because many people search for phrases. When you title your videos, make sure you use descriptive words to make the video seem more appealing and to have more keywords for search engines to catch. Along with this, make sure you write meaningful descriptions for each video as well. People only like to read a few lines at a time, so make sure you use keywords in this section. Don't overdo it or make it too complicated to read, however. Creating the video is obviously the most important part. One of the best ways to be consistent in each video is to write a script. Knowing what you are going to say helps to take out a lot of rambling and ensures you will cover everything you intend to talk about. If you do prefer to talk off the cuff, you could also write an outline and use that as a minor guideline so you don't forget to talk about certain topics. You should start your video with a hook, meaning you need to grab the viewer's attention for the introduction. You should lay out the themes and direction of the video and keep the viewer wanting to see more. You can do this with introducing who you are, using graphics, and clips of what is coming. Make sure to keep your intro interesting but short, around 10 to 15 seconds long, because viewers are not likely to sit through longer than this amount. Once you finish the intro, this is when you can begin talking about the main topic of the video. With the video as a whole, you want to make sure that you keep a certain pace throughout the entire video. You want to make sure that you don't digress onto different topics or linger too long on one subject. You need to keep the action moving forward to keep the viewer interested. If the topic you want to speak about has a lot of information, consider breaking the content up into multiple parts, such as in this course. This will keep the audience from becoming overloaded with information. On the other hand, you need to make sure that you have enough content to justify the length of your video. Do not keep repeating the same information just to make a longer video. If you would like to make a long video, include small section breaks where the pace slows down a bit to allow the reader a moment to reflect on what they have just seen. Too much information for a long period of time gets exhausting, and viewers are likely to leave the video if it becomes too much for them. Make sure to end each video by asking viewers to subscribe to the YouTube page, your Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest page. Include the button for each page on the video to make it easier for the viewer to access. You should also edit each video to take out any lulls, stutters, mistakes, or bad content. This will automatically separate you from a majority of the videos uploaded onto YouTube. Editing out these parts of the video makes the video easier to watch and more shareable to friends and family. There are several free open source video editing programs available, such as VSDC, Free Video Editor, or Windows Movie Maker. If you use your YouTube channel for videos of the same general concept, such as how-to videos or reviews, you need to come up with common transitions and effects that you can apply to all of your videos. This will give your content a unified feel, making it appear much more professional to the viewer. Transitions have a large impact on your video branding, so make sure to cultivate this as much as possible. While shooting your video, try not to move the camera too much. Make sure to use a tripod or a stable table to speak to the camera. If you want to zoom, cut out the part where you move the camera to zoom in. That way, the viewer doesn't have to watch the jarring movement. As with any social media website, make sure you interact with your subscribers, reply to their comments, and give shoutouts to your subscribers to make them feel like a community. Delete any mean or angry comments to keep your channel positive and friendly. You can also subscribe to other channels similar to yours, as you would do with Facebook or Instagram. If you comment on these videos, people will then go to your page and view your videos, who could then become a potential subscriber. Avoid spamming, however, as people will block you. Use your other social media sites, such as Pinterest, Facebook, Instagram, and your mailing list, to promote your YouTube channel. Having all of these outlets is a great way to reach a large audience and grow your followers. Every time you make a post, put a link to the video with a little blurb onto the other social media outlets so people will know when you have added another video. Also include a button that goes directly to your YouTube channel on your website for easy access. Engagement within your social media outlets is very important. Engagement is the level of involvement, interaction, intimacy, and influence an individual has with a brand over time. Social media is just like socializing in real life. People like to have interaction with others and a response to what they say. Having a high frequency and good quality interactions will develop better relationships between brand and consumer, and you will also get higher visibility on search results. It will also let your audience know more about your brand and keep your readers interested in visiting your site. There are a few ways you can get your readers to engage in your posts. Create a unique personality for the way you answer questions or write your blurbs. Personality develops trust, and this is important when trying to grow a following. People also love stories, so you can share a story and ask your followers to share a similar story, and create a discussion amongst all the followers. This way, the page begins to feel like a community. You can also have shared resources. Consumers like to feel as if they are important, and you can feed this desire by providing them with resources that you willingly share without asking for anything in return, such as an article, video, or presentation. Although all of these social media outlets take time to create, grow, and maintain, it is one of the main resources to get readers to your website and spread the word of your brand. Social media pages are constantly being looked at and updated, so you have to make sure you are consistent with updating all of these outlets and connecting them. Once you have created these outlets, however, have fun with updating them with fun pictures, funny blurbs, and interesting facts. That way, it's not only enjoyable for your readers, it's enjoyable. Facebook is the biggest social network out there, and after you have your website set up, your next step is to start getting people to actually check what you are doing. After creating some content on your website, it's time to get the word out, and depending on your budget, you may consider a free and time-consuming option or a paid option. Join Facebook groups that target people interested in your topic. If you are writing a post about a trip, consider joining groups related to the city you visit or for fellow travelers. That way, you will know that everyone checking your content will most likely be interested in the topic you write, increasing your chances to have more traffic to your website. If you have a bigger budget, you may consider to start growing your followers and readers using Facebook ads. Facebook allows you to pay them to show ads on someone's timeline. There is literally nowhere else on the internet or in the offline world that I know of that has such comprehensive targeting abilities. You can target 24-year-old single women that like to read, think and grow rich, are conservative, play Farmville, they're located in New York City on their birthday. Not that you'll ever really need to go that in depth, but the point is, if you know anything about your customer, you will be able to find them on Facebook. This will allow you to set a budget on how much you want to spend and start getting targeted people to follow you or to read your content and expand your network. Nearly everyone uses the internet, and it's a wealth of untapped potential for your practice. But online ads are worthless if you're marketing to the wrong audience. Google AdWords are an easy, successful way to market your practice or brand online by targeting niche audiences. Google AdWords works by creating an ad and having it show up on search pages that include keywords that your potential audience may type into Google. You are only charged when your ad is clicked. By using the service, you're targeting people who are looking for words that relate to your business or brand. If you have never used Google AdWords before, take some time to learn how to work with it and how to control your budget. Otherwise, you may end up spending your entire budget in just a few hours if you don't know what you're doing. Learn how to control and set your expenses. If you plan to use Google AdWords to sell some products or increase traffic, consider hiring a professional consultant to set your campaigns, since Google AdWords can be extremely complex. Using Facebook ads, Google AdWords, and reaching a targeted audience is probably the most relevant aspect of the process to growing a long-term brand. But nowadays, when someone is checking how much you are worth on a social media and online level, they will start by checking how many likes and followers you have. If you have 500 followers on your Instagram, you won't be taken as seriously as if you have 50,000. Therefore, there are ways to grow your network mixing targeted followers you reach and your targeted ads and by social exchange channels. AdMeFast.com is one of the biggest social network exchange websites out there, and you can get real users to follow you on any social media channel for free. How does it work? The concept is pretty simple. You follow or like something from someone and you will get points in return for your action. With the points you earn, you can request that other users from the network like or follow your content. This won't be the targeted traffic you are aiming for, an active social network, but it can be a good extra boost to increase your social media numbers. If you have the time, you can spend some minutes per day liking other people's pages or posts and get a decent amount of followers and likes back to your network. Advanced programmers develop scripts that will automatically work for you. This means all you need to do is open your accounts, run a script on the back of your computer, and do any other task you have to do, and by the time you get back, you will have hundreds or thousands of points to use without any effort. These kinds of scripts are continuously changing, so you may need to search often for new versions that work, since the websites change their codes regularly. We attach a working version and the step-by-step guide to install one of these scripts to help you grow your network. You don't really need any programming skills. Just follow the instructions, and soon you may have thousands of followers on your social media channels with $0 invested. I've been using social media and applying a number of different strategies to market my products and services online for a few years now. I'd say I have seen tremendous growth in my business and personal brand in a fairly short amount of time. In short, guerrilla marketing means doing something interesting or different to promote your business instead of spending money on marketing or advertising. If you are just starting and you're not sure how good your idea is, and therefore you don't want to start with a big investment, this is probably your best bet to check the feedback from people and check if there will be any engagement from your targeted audience. Once you've defined your message and clarified your potential prospects, it's time to start thinking about developing content for your new campaign. This is where your passion and creativity will need to shine. Think of all the ways you can get your message across and which avenues you can pursue to reach your buyer personas. A few things you will definitely want to include when developing your guerrilla marketing contents are: use visuals. Presenters who use visual aids are 40% more effective in persuading audience members to take a desired course of action. Try something unexpected. The best guerrilla marketing strategy for your industry hasn't been created yet. Surprise and delight your customers with something new. Recreate your message in multiple ways. Once you have established something creative, duplicate it across video, audio, image, and beyond. Have a positive message. A positive message is always much better received than a negative one. And don't give up. Keep trying until something sticks. To determine if there's a tactic that will work for your business, consider these 5 tips for crafting an effective guerrilla marketing campaign that will resonate with your target audience. Number 1, have a hook. If your product or service is something people don't ordinarily care about, you need to give it an attention-grabbing hook, like the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge, for example. 2, be provocative. Controversy sells, so if you're willing to break taboos and speak truths that people usually prefer to ignore, you can turn heads. 3, sell an idea, not a product. As a startup, your passion for what you do and your vision for changing the world is incredibly powerful. Stating that vision boldly and selling your product based on emotional appeal, not rational arguments, can give you a great advantage. 4, make it tangible. Physical manifestations are great guerrilla marketing. Translating your idea into an object or event can help explain a product, especially digital services. 5, take a risk. Some of the best ideas sound unbelievably dumb on paper, and may still, in fact, be dumb when you actually do them. They may flop, but you won't know until you try. Many guerrilla campaigns get attention precisely because they are unusual, outrageous, or unconventional, so don't worry about people laughing at you. There are many online and offline ways to get your word out, and with so many competitors on the market, you really need to be creative to spread your word to customers, followers, and prospect sponsors and partners. Don't think that just because an idea seems absurd, it won't work. Sometimes, the less logical ideas end up being the more efficient ones, and since you're not doing any financial investment, why not give it a try? The best way to find your network is to get out there and interact. Interacting with people working on a similar field and reaching out to people who may teach or share insights with you will be the biggest boost your project can have. If you try to do it on your own, you will take way longer to reach and understand how the industry works. I would by no means describe myself as an expert on networking,
but there are 4 key principles that I have used throughout my career to build powerful networks and maintain instrumental relationships. Don't limit your network. It doesn't matter if someone is inside or outside of your industry. If they are interesting and influential, be willing to commit time and/or resources to meet, connect, or help that individual. Sometimes it's individuals completely outside your immediate sphere that end up being a connector or offering the savvy advice that propels you forward at a crucial junction. Do your homework. Once you've secured a meeting, phone call, or introduction to network with someone, don't mess it up. My personal rule of thumb: be prepared with at least 2 areas of common interest. For instance, before I meet with someone, I try to find out things they are interested in, and I talk about it. And if I'm attending any related event, I may invite them to join. After the small talk, the rest of the meeting will go smoothly, and you'll reach a totally different level of confidence and personal and professional trust. Don't ask for anything in return. Networking is not transactional, but too often it's approached in such a way. Play the long game and build the network for the sake of building the network. Early in my career, I offered to review a friend's business plan without any expectations about a job, compensation, or even a cup of coffee in return. This encounter eventually landed me a job offer as an engineer for a well-funded technology company. Aim high. Oftentimes, people miss opportunities to network because they feel intimidated, particularly if the other person is more senior. However, there is very little downside when aiming high, other than a bruised ego from time to time. The worst that can happen is they say no or ignore you, and at that point, it's onward and finding a sponsor for your blog and travels is an important part of achieving success in your field. We have found that working on partnerships and developing relationships with our sponsors has been of great value, not only from our past adventures, but for all of our future travels. When you are starting and seeking your first sponsors, be humble and don't expect to have Lonely Planet or a 5-star resort to pay for your next flight or give you €500 worth to stay with them. Write down your numbers. Start by writing down your value and the value you can give to any prospective sponsor or partner. Facebook likes, Instagram followers, mailing list, the niche you target, the reviews you can provide, any special services you offer, and your website and possible value you can add to the sponsor. These are just some examples of statistics you need to write down so you can share them with any prospective sponsor. Look up each company and locate contacts. Search for companies on your destinations that have worked with blogs or that seem to be open to looking for sponsoring. New hotels and brand new companies are more likely to be interested in a partnership than a long-established one. Search booking websites and TripAdvisor and try to find entities that have few or no reviews and have just opened. Once you have a list of properties and companies that you consider relevant, look around each website to find a PR or marketing contact person. These people typically manage blogger relationships. If you can't find any individual's name, just look for the general contact or info email. Here's a bonus tip. If you're really persistent, go to LinkedIn and search for individuals, using a search like Hotel X Marketing or Hotel X PR. Once you have a name, go back to the hotel website and try and figure out the email naming scheme for the company. For example, Antonio@55secrets.com. Anticipate the needs of each potential sponsor. If you learn the demographics, business model, and the goals of your potential sponsors, you can start developing some sense of the way you may pitch your sponsorship. For this reason, more localized businesses are often a safer bet than larger corporations like Nike. While Nike's certainly got the coin to throw around, they're also probably getting several hundred sponsorship requests in any given week. The local radio station or sporting goods store, however, probably much less.
and if your customer base overlaps, that's potential earned income for them. Consider leveraging potential sponsors against one another. If one boutique hotel from your next destination has already pledged at a certain level, mention that to another prospect sponsor. They'll get the hint. Email each and every property. This may be one of the most boring parts, but it's a fundamental step to reach a prospective sponsor. The content of your email will depend heavily on your experience level and credentials. If your website is new and you don't have impressive statistics, don't mention it at all. Instead, include a sentence about your professional background if it's related. You should also briefly describe your site and who you are. You can also create a media kit or any supporting documentation to include. A sponsorship request should always start out with an executive summary or mission statement about the event or trip you hope to have sponsored. This should be around 250 to 300 words that describes in detail what the sponsorship will fund, why you seek sponsorships, and how being a sponsor will benefit them. Attached here, you can see the email we send when we are seeking free accommodation for 55 Secrets members and the stats we provide on the first approach. We have a kit with print screens of our stats and previous work in case we are requested in future contacts. Also, make sure that the subject on your email is eye-catching and as appealing as possible to get the attention of your prospective partner. They probably get hundreds of emails, so if you can stand out, you're already one step closer to being taken seriously and to reach that partnership or sponsor you're looking for. You should clearly define how many posts you would give each sponsor, how many tweets they would get, and how many Facebook shares you would offer, and make sure you offer something that you can achieve. Outline exactly what you require from the company you are seeking sponsorship from. People prefer to be told what you want, rather than having to think about what to offer. Don't leave it up to them. Tell them how much product you require, how much money you require, and why you are approaching them. Remember to thank the sponsor for considering your offer. Use a friendly and professional working tone in your letter, illustrating your level of seriousness and professionalism. List the different sponsorship levels. If you haven't already, outline your budget among the business or venture, and decide what it is you hope to acquire from sponsors. Create different levels of sponsorship that potential sponsors may commit to, and explain what you are asking for at each level, and why you need sponsors for each level. This way, you will be able to reach sponsors with different budgets. You may get sponsors that will just give you free services, but also sponsors that are available to sponsor you financially. If you can, make a brochure with your presentation to make it easier for your sponsors to evaluate your different options. Cut to the chase. You're writing to marketers, entrepreneurs, and business people, not academics. This isn't the time to pad out your writing with lofty diction and fluff in an effort to sound smart. Make your argument, outline the business advantages for the sponsor, and end it quickly. Short and sweet. 2. Wait for responses. Patience is a virtue when it comes to email. Usually, if a company is going to reply to the email, it would come within 3 business days. We usually send emails early in the business week, Monday or Tuesday, to allow them several days to answer before reaching the weekend. Don't expect all of your emails to receive an answer. If you get 1 reply out of every 10, it's already a good start. 3. Follow up and confirmation. The responses you'll get will be varied. Some will reply asking a lot of questions and ask for more information about your site traffic and stats, so make sure you have print screens and details prepared to get back to them. If your website and social media stats are not that good or relevant, highlight any other contribution you may have that could be useful for them. New and smaller companies and hotels are more likely to offer you free services straight away, since they are not yet established on the market, and your reviews and feedback will be a relevant boost for them. They are more likely to have free spots during your visit, which also makes it the perfect target for you. Identify these kind of places, and it's the best way to get sponsorship or free accommodation. If, after a week, your prospective partners haven't gotten back to you, it's time for a call. Call their front office or the marketing department and say you are calling to check up on the status from a previous email you've sent and if they have any updates. People are more likely to take you serious on a phone call or in person than from an email. So the fact that you are calling allows them to see you are a real person and you have a real interest in partnering with them. Give them a quick reminder as to who you are and what you are seeking from the partnership. Don't be too pushy on your first call, but make sure to make a summary of what you can offer them and ask them to get back to you, or say you will be available to call them in a few hours or in the next few days. If they agree, make sure to call again to find out more updates. This way, you are putting some pressure on them and they will read your email again, or for the first time perhaps, and evaluate if your partnership offer is relevant or not. Now that you have reached out and followed up with your prospect sponsors for a specific destination or to get one of your trips or activities sponsored, it's time to get the partnership official. After you receive positive replies from some of your prospective partners, set a Skype call or reply to them by email with all the needed details. Make sure you provide all the requested info, and when you get that yes from them, make sure to be clear again about what you will get from them and what you will provide. A one-time sponsor or partner may become a long-term one, so make sure your number one rule is to deliver 100% of what you promised. You'd actually make sure you deliver more than what you promised, and then you will get great feedback. After your partnership is complete and you have your funds or free activities, make sure you send them an email thanking them for their help and support, and with all the conclusions and stats of your work. If you published an article about them, send them the link, and if you shared related content on your social media channels, save some print screens of the posts and make sure to tag them on your social media so they are aware of what's going on. If you are fresh in the market, you won't be getting paid sponsors or big partners until you actually have some decent stats and your name is out there on the World Wide Web. Obviously, you can't be making a living traveling the world without making any money unless you have savings and you can stretch it and combine it with the sponsorships that provide free stuff during your trip. The best way to make it work is to start making money from different sources that combined will generate a stable income. And if you plan it properly, you can be making a full-time income only from your website. Keep in mind that some of the strategies are more or less passive, while some of the techniques require a lot of ongoing work. Don't try and do all of these at once, and make sure you give it some time to see results. No one is an overnight success, and you need to see what will work for you and your audience. Ways to make money from your website. 1. Affiliate marketing. Affiliate marketing is a very popular way to make money through your website or blog. In short, you sell or recommend someone else's products on your website. When your website visitor clicks on your affiliate link and buys the product, you'll receive commission. The commission is usually 30 to 70% of the product or service price. So if you promote an ebook that costs $100, you'll get $50 for referring the buyer, just as an example. So where can I find products to promote? Commission Junction, reliable and on-time payments. Share a sale, for mostly clothes and accessories. ClickBank has high payouts but a lack of good products to promote. Amazon offers lower commissions but a lot of products to promote. Number 2, pay-per-click advertising. Google has made a program called Google AdSense for publishers, bloggers, website owners, and advertisers, business owners, marketers, and product owners. The system is quite simple. You place a code on your website that will start displaying relevant ads to your website. For example, if your site is about backpack reviews, Google AdSense will start showing your visitors ads for backpacks, travel gadgets, and so on. When someone clicks on the ad, you will receive money for this click. It is usually $0.5 to $5 per click. But when your site has enough traffic, you can make hundreds if not thousands of dollars per month. So how to apply for Google AdSense? Before applying, keep yourself updated with their terms of service. Google is very strict with their rules, so it's pretty hard to get approved. 3. Selling ad space. As the name says, all you need to do is sell the ad space. You set up a price. Let's say, banner at the sidebar will cost X amount of dollars per month. You'll be paid up front, and the price depends on your traffic. If your site gets loads of traffic from different sources, the banner ad price can go up as much as $5,000 per month. However, if your site doesn't have much traffic, don't expect much. Number 4. Sell your own digital product, an ebook for example. Selling your own product is awesome because there are no middlemen. No one is going to take a cut. It's only you and the client. You can sell directly through your website and you'll be paid directly. Though whilst it looks a simple way to make money, it's actually not. It takes a lot of time to create a good product that you can actually sell through your site. So make sure it's well polished before you throw it out on your webpage. In addition, a perfectly optimized landing page for the product is essential to higher your conversion rates. Number 5. Accept sponsored posts and articles. Once your site is getting a good amount of visitors monthly, you can offer sponsored posts and articles. There are a lot of advertisers who would be interested in writing sponsored posts for your website. Another option is to make money through reviewing something. Here's an example. You have a website about Apple products. A marketer from Apple sees your site and contacts you. He or she offers you a free iPhone 5 if you make a comprehensive review and post it on your site for followers to read. This may be an extreme case, but I'm sure you get the point. It's a win-win situation. However, make sure you don't accept anything completely irrelevant to your site or blog. If your site is about cats and you post a review of an American Express credit card, then your visitors may have more of a trust issue. 6. Generate leads for other companies. Generating leads means you help other organizations or companies to make money. It can be a simple email or telephone number. A lead is a lead. Here's a scenario. Let's say you have a website about teaching and learning math. You can easily set up links to different schools and universities that offer to teach people math. When your visitor submits their email or phone number to the university for application, you'll get paid. It's very similar to affiliate marketing, but your visitor doesn't necessarily have to buy anything. A short contact information is more than enough. The salespeople will take care of the rest. So where can you find such offers? Max Bounty, Neverblue, and Peerfly. Number 7. Build an email list. Building a list means that you gather your visitors' emails. 90% of the websites that get some sort of traffic use that technique, and it works pretty well. You won't get rich overnight, but it's definitely something long-term and profitable. However, make sure you first create relationships with your followers by simply offering great information and/or help for free. Spamming different offers through emails is never a good idea. How exactly does it work? List Building 101 is probably the best introduction on the internet on how to build a list with your website. Number 8. Give away premium content for a fee. If you are producing mind-blowing, awesome, and near-ideal content that helps your visitors, feel free to ask money for that. I am completely fine with paying for premium content. However, at first your main goal should be growing your audience and visitors, not asking them for money right away. 9. Start a private forum or coaching class. If you are good at something, why don't you start advising others?
It's a great way to earn recurring income from your students. You can share the basics about your knowledge for free, and then lead the people that are interested in your content to a private coaching Skype or phone meetings where you help them improve in exchange for some payment. 10. Add a Hire Me page on your website. If you enjoy freelancing, you can leverage your opportunities through your web page. Make sure you list down all your skills and previous tasks, as this will improve your chance of being hired. 11. Sell an ebook. Many people sell ebooks through their site. For some examples, if you have a website about recipes and cooking, you can easily create and sell your own recipe book. The same is applicable in every other niche. 12. Offer coupons with affiliate links. People are eagerly looking for discount and promotional codes. If you can offer a valid one, you are able to get some money as well. If you have a good network of travelers, it's a good way to increase your income. 13. Offer writing gigs. If you are native and fluent, you can make some extra income by writing about a specific topic. If you are good enough, you can easily ask $20 to $30 per 500-word articles. Just let others know that you are offering this kind of service. 14. Display pop-up advertisements. It may be extremely annoying for your readers, but another easy way to make some money if you have a lot of visitors on your website. 15. Copy what others are doing. It may sound random, but it's indeed efficient. See what the relevant bloggers do to make money and use their formulas to get new income. If you want to make money from your blog, it's beneficial to approach your blog as a platform to sell something else. Sure, there are people who will create a profitable website through banner ads, sponsored posts, links, and other more passive streams, but the most reliable way to make money off a blog these days is through products like books, ebooks, courses, consulting services, design work, photography, art, etc. You might collect some tips by playing music or by slapping a couple of ads on your site, but the real money comes in when you've got something to offer those people who love your music and want to take it home with them. It might seem like a lot of work to create a product, but once it's available, you can ideally rely on it to continuously make you money. Writing my first ebook was not easy. After 4 months of hard work, it was finished, and that was it. A passive income product was created. Now it just sits there on Amazon, and a reliable stream of income comes in each month, and I do nothing. The more passive products you build, the more reliable income you can create for your blog. Try to be creative when you decide to create a product. There are thousands of products out there, so make sure you pick a niche that you like and one that is not flooded with competitors. Just like in any other career or project, things may take longer than you plan to start working and to bring you a stable income. Therefore, it's probably a good idea to have an open mind and be prepared to get some work on the road to support your trip in case things don't go as planned. Here is a list of some ways you can make money while traveling. Keep in mind that this is just a fraction of the opportunities that actually exist. Teach English. Job opportunities are all around the world, and in many cases, you don't need to be certified. You just need to be a native speaker. Check some job boards from different countries and send in a few applications to schools in South Korea, Japan, Thailand, or dozens of other locations, and you'll be surprised at how many interviews you land. Sell timeshares. If you were born to be a salesperson, then head to Greece, Thailand, Mexico, the Caribbean, or any other major resort area, and you can find work selling timeshares. These resorts want salespeople who can relate to their potential customers, so they prefer to have Americans selling to Americans, Italians selling to Italians, and so on. The earning potential is huge in this line of work. Resort jobs. If selling isn't your thing, resorts all over the planet often hire staff from other countries for a variety of positions, such as front desk, restaurant, or the activity and entertainment department. Work in a hostel. Hostels are often looking for new staff who are willing to work some hours each day, either at reception or cleaning, or maybe both, in exchange for a free bed each night. It's not a bad way to save money at all. Online freelance work. Whether you have a background or interest in web design, programming, illustration, writing, marketing, consulting, legal work, engineering, or are able to do any type of admin work, you should definitely look at websites such as elance.com and fiverr.com. These are platforms that connect freelancers with people and companies who need work done. Even if your background is in something else, have a look anyway, as there is freelance work to be found in dozens of different fields. Act in films and televisions overseas. Head to Mumbai, stand on a street corner in the Colaba neighborhood, and before long, an industry scout will ask you if you want to act in a Bollywood film. You won't make millions, but you'll be on the big screen. I also know people who have done the same in Kenya and earned very good money. Working holiday visas. Countries such as Australia, New Zealand, Canada, France, Ireland, and Singapore offer these to foreigners, generally those who are between the ages of 18 to 30. If you're in that age range, the working holiday visa might just be your best option to make money and travel. It allows you to stay in a country for up to 1 year, and in some cases, to apply for and work in any position you want. Yes, it is a sweet deal, and one incredible way to earn an income whilst being overseas. Fruit picking. Get out into the sun, grab a basket, and start picking fruit. Such an option is quite common for travellers or backpackers passing through Australia, and the pay can include payment per kilo of fruit you pick, room, board, or any combination of the three. House sitting. Who wouldn't want a free place to stay? While you typically won't get paid, if you don't mind looking after somebody else's house while they're away, this is a great option. I know many people who just hop around from house-sitting gig to house-sitting gig, essentially avoiding accommodation expenses for years. Gigs can be 1 week, 1 month, 1 year, or anything in between. Haircuts. Choose a popular hostel, put up a sign, ask first, charge a reasonable amount, and off you go. I remember meeting a traveller who was doing this in Zagreb, Croatia, and she was making $40 per day by advertising in 3 hostels. She would cut hair for a month, then travel for a month, and repeat. Bartending. There are bars in many towns and cities that pay cash in hand to travellers who can work a bar and are willing to stay in one spot for a while. Bars connected to hostels are often your best bet. Cafe or restaurant work. If you're in a popular backpacking destination, just ask the hostel staff if they know of any cafes that hire travellers. Sometimes you'll find a local classifieds or coupon traveller-oriented magazine lying around the hostel as well. Flip it open and many times you'll find restaurants advertising for help. Teach musical instruments. Can you play an instrument? If you can, chances are there are people all over the world who want to learn as well. Advertise in local online classifieds or put up signs in busy areas, such as gathering places of college students, and you might just have a few classes lined up before you know it. Teach any language. English isn't the only language people want to learn. Do you speak French, Spanish, German, Italian, Mandarin, Arabic, or anything else? Look for jobs or set up your own classes by advertising at universities or popular hangouts such as cafes. Teach dance classes. Again, put up some signs around town. Find space in a public park and teach others how to get their tango on. You could also work out a deal with a restaurant or bar where they pay you to hold a class at their location because it will bring them plenty of extra business. Construction work. If you have construction experience, this is one industry that tends to hire people for short-term work
while paying them under the table. As a result, this makes for a great option for travelers looking to earn some quick cash. Au pair. The situations vary, but you'll get room, board, and a weekly paycheck for helping take care of a family's children, allowing you to explore the country you end up in during your free time as well. Tour escort. Many international tour operators, especially those such as Indochina.com, that offer budget tours around the world, hire tour escorts to accompany each group. The pay is on the low side, and you usually must sign up for a 1 to 2 year contract, but the benefit is that you get to explore parts of the world without spending any money at all, and gaining some great work experience in the process. Sell your art and crafts at local markets. There are markets in many places where foreigners can rent a stall and sell their goods. Usually these are markets that are geared towards tourists and other travelers. As a result, there are many people who follow the market circuit, bouncing around from market to market all year round, selling their handmade crafts, artwork, clothes from India, or other goods that are in high demand. Photography. I'm an average photographer at best, but for those who know what they're doing with the camera, it's possible to try and sell the travel photos you take. You can set up your own shop on sites such as smugmug.com, and you can try and sell your photos to a variety of travel magazines and to companies that have stock photography collections. Cruise ship employment. I always recommend this option as an excellent way to earn good money while getting a taste of the world, gaining some solid work experience, and networking with hundreds of people, both your fellow crew and passengers from around the world. It's not a bad list of benefits. Work on a yacht. Sometimes they pay, sometimes they don't, but if you look at websites such as DesperateSailors.com, you might find it hard to turn down an offer to work on board a yacht or sailboat, especially one that will spend a few months in the Caribbean or Mediterranean, or perhaps even head across the Pacific. Edit English signs or menus. It might sound silly, but there are travelers out there earning decent money by wandering around touristy areas all over the world and being paid to correct the English spelling and grammar on signs and menus of businesses that try to attract foreigners. I met one guy in Thailand who would charge $10 for his editing services, and he would have approximately 20 clients per week. That's not a bad way to earn $800 per month. Busking. Do you have some kind of talent? Maybe you don't have talent, but you're more than willing to have people laugh at you, especially if they'll throw their spare change in your hat. Many travelers are playing guitar, juggling, dancing, and singing their way around the world. It may not be legal in some places though, so be sure to check the rules. Volunteer work. In most cases this won't pay, but you'll have an unforgettable experience while usually saving money on room and board, which is just like being paid. You don't have to spend a lot of money with large global operations in order to volunteer, as there are local organizations in every country that would love to have you. Just Google volunteering positions and NGOs on your next destination and send them an email, and you may find yourself a perfect help to give back and explore a new place without paying for accommodation or food. Work exchange. Check out the listings on helpx.net and you'll be ready to pack your bags today. If you're willing to work a few hours each day in exchange for room, board, and sometimes some extra cash, there is no shortage of opportunities. There is also woofing, which focuses on organic farm work. Be creative. One of the best ways to make it work when you are on the road is to brainstorm about what skills you have and how you can use them to make money. Just think how you could help a hotel or a travel agency, or what people around you need that you can do, and make them an offer. You won't lose anything for trying, and worst case, you'll get a no for an answer. But that's not the end of the world, is it? I hope this list helps you realize that you can make money and travel, that earning money on the road is not as impossible as you once thought. If it were impossible, there certainly wouldn't be so many people from countries all around the world traveling and working as they explore this great planet of ours.
For most people, getting paid to travel the world, or travel and make money along the way, seems to be a mission impossible, only possible for IT geniuses and celebrities. But I hope after going through this course, you realize that is not the case. It won't be a piece of cake, as many people promise online, but with the right tools, the knowledge we just shared here, and some motivation, you'll be able to live the dream of traveling the world and getting paid to do so. Be yourself. Find a market with something you love and work hard to make it work. That's the key for it all. You don't need to be making a fortune to keep traveling and experiencing the life you want for yourself as a traveler. But if you work hard, you may even save money when you're on the road. Feel free to get in touch with us for any further questions by email or through our personal Facebook pages. We are always looking forward to talk with fellow travelers and digital nomads, and perhaps even meet you in person somewhere around the world. Good luck on your journey and safe travels. Upward. For you as well.
Real life example: €7,000 of value in 30 days. During July 2016, Antonio Aruj, the founder of 55 Secrets, used the method we're about to tell you about to plan an entire month of free trips and accommodation with his girlfriend. He spent 5 days planning his trip and contacting companies, hotels, and restaurants in the locations he was going to travel to in order to get free accommodation and prove that it's possible to get sponsored for anything that you may want. After finding a cheap return flight from Europe to Thailand for just €220, he decided this was the perfect opportunity to make this a real-life example and a case study of our method and show the real achievable results. The plan was simple: 5 countries, €150 in flights, €100 in transportation, €20 per day for basic needs, and besides that, everything else was to be free or sponsored. The route was the following: 2 days in Istanbul before flying to Thailand, 4 days in Bangkok, 8 days in Bali, 8 days in Lombok, 4 days in Kuala Lumpur, and 4 days in Singapore. As you may notice, the plan was to stay for an even number of days in each location, as he would ask for a 2-night stay at every hotel, for a higher conversion on the email replies he received. 55 Secrets has a big following on social media, so it is easier to get positive replies. But if you don't have a lot of followers on your Instagram or Facebook, you can always find something that hotels and restaurants need. It's a known fact that TripAdvisor and Google reviews are an important thing for everyone in the hospitality business, so you will have a lot of positive replies just by offering to leave them an honest review of your stay. Make sure you write that you will be leaving an honest review though. Don't promise anyone a 5-star review, and make sure you write what you actually felt like after you stayed in that place. The first step was to get a place to sleep every night for the entire month. So Antonio started by making a draft of what each hotel would have to give and what they would get in exchange. He decided he would ask each hotel for a 2-night stay with breakfast for 2 guests, Antonio and his girlfriend. In exchange, each hotel would receive the following: 2 TripAdvisor reviews, 2 Google reviews, 2 Facebook page reviews, 1 Instagram post. They would tag the hotel in their daily post, 1 Facebook post, and 1 website review. The hotel would be featured on a post about the location on Antonio's website. Fulfilling those conditions on Antonio's side would take around 1 hour to complete for each hotel, so it would be easy enough to include in his daily routine. His aim was to make sure every hotel would get what it was promised less than 4 days after he left each location. The Facebook, TripAdvisor, and Google Plus reviews would all be the same review, copy and pasted between each platform, written with between 100 and 200 words. Depending on your social media numbers, you can decide to offer something different and think about any skill you may have that can be interesting for the facilities. If you have a good camera, you can offer to take some nice photos of the place and allow them to be used on the facility's social media, in exchange for your stay. Antonio's plan was to have a luxury holiday, so they set a minimum cost per night for the hotels they would contact at €80 per night. Since he was to be travelling in Southeast Asia, it would be very easy to find cheap accommodation in most of those places, but that wouldn't really be worth the effort of 1 hour of work and exposure every 2 days if he was only saving €20 or €40 per night. And after all, the goal was to have a luxury stay and some delicious breakfasts. €80 per night as a minimum may sound cheap if you are living in the States or in Europe, but €80 gets you a really lovely hotel in most places in Southeast Asia. Assuming an expected average of €100 per night, that would be €3,000 worth of hotel stays saved in 1 month. Antonio used his own domain email to contact hotels to look more professional. Avoid sending emails from your personal Gmail since companies won't take you seriously. If you don't have your own domain, you can buy one with an email account for around €15 per year with any web host. To make it easier and more practical to send a lot of emails in a short period of time, Antonio connected his 55 Secrets email with his personal Gmail, making it possible to send emails as antonio@55secrets.com from his personal Gmail account. If you don't know how to do this, just drop us a message and we can help you set this up, as it really does save hours of work when sending hundreds of emails in a row. The final thing to include on your emails is a professional-looking signature. We used HubSpot.com, a free email signature generator, to make ours, but there are plenty of resources online, so you can choose whichever you prefer most. Make sure to include your email address, phone number, and any other relevant information on your signature, so sponsors can contact you in whichever way they prefer. Avoid including your personal Facebook page, but do include your business or travel-related page or website if you have one. After having the template for the email ready, it was time to pick which hotels to contact. Since Antonio was going to be traveling with his girlfriend, they split the work by cities to avoid duplicating or mixing up email proposals, and they included the hotel name on the email subject line to avoid mixing hotels and contacts in the future. There are thousands of hotels in the cities they wanted to travel to, so they had to filter their selection to only the most relevant hotels. They decided to use Booking.com to pick the hotels they would contact. Booking allows you to use a lot of filters and provides all the information in one place. The filters they selected were the following: price, above $100, hotel with swimming pool, breakfast included, and a rating of above 7 stars. Including these kinds of filters removes a lot of hotels and narrows the choice. Of course, you can adapt the filters to your personal goals and preferences. A good tip if you have a small following is to target hotels that are new online or have just opened, as they will need more reviews to help their business have a strong online presence. To find these kind of hotels, you can use the filter No Rating under the review score filter on Booking.com. You will then see all the hotels with low ratings or with no ratings, and that usually means that they are brand new or that they just launched their online promotions, so that would be a perfect target for you. You can also do the same on TripAdvisor. Select hotels in your city, and when you check the ranking for the hotels in the area, go to the last pages of the listing, where the hotels with no listing or few reviews will be. Those are the hotels that will most likely accept your proposal and provide you with a free stay in exchange for a few TripAdvisor reviews to increase their online reputation. Now it's time to email a load of the hotels that fit your selection. Since TripAdvisor and Booking don't provide the email address of each hotel, you'll have to Google the name of the hotel and find their website. Most hotels will have a contact section where their email will be available for you to copy to send them an email with your proposal. Antonio also attached a PDF file with his social media numbers and some information about a previous partnership with another hotel, in order to give the hotel the feeling that this would be a positive experience for them. You have to make sure your email very clearly states what the hotel will get and what you will provide, since this is the most relevant part of the email. If you offer something they need, they will consider. If you focus on what you want, they likely won't get back to you. If there is a partnership or marketing email address, then send your proposal to that email rather than the generic contact or reservations email. Since Antonio was being picky with the kind of hotels he wanted to stay at, he ended up sending around 70 emails for every positive email confirmation reply he got. Yes, for every 70 emails he sent, he received one email accepting the proposal. Each email took around 30 seconds to send, since it was just a matter of copy and pasting the email address from the hotel website to the pre-written email proposal, and attaching a PDF file. If you happen to be a computer programmer, you can probably just write a script that does this for you, but we weren't that advanced. All in all, for every hotel confirmation, this worked out at around 40 minutes worth of work. Most hotels take around 1 to 4 days to reply, and a large amount of them simply won't get back to you, so expect to send around 40 to 50 emails before you get a positive answer, if you are being selective. If a hotel gets back to you asking for more details, make sure you answer in less than 24 hours, and tell them you are available for a call if needed, since some hotels would rather talk before they accept a partnership. When more than one hotel got back to Antonio with a positive answer for the same dates, he would select the best one and politely decline the other offer, saying that their plans had changed and they were no longer available on those dates, but that it would be a pleasure to partner with that hotel in the future. After 5 days of spending a few hours sending emails in the evenings after work, Antonio had sent around 600 emails to hotels in 5 different destinations. To keep track of the responses he received, he used a simple calendar to mark any confirmed stays he had, and on which dates, in order to avoid having any mixed dates and double bookings. After a hotel confirmed that they wanted to have him stay in exchange for the social media exposure and his reviews, he would ask for a confirmation of the booking and write down the name and contact details of the person he spoke with, just in case something went wrong on arrival at the hotel. In the end, he had 15 confirmed hotels and resorts with the following values. Istanbul, 2 nights in a hotel located in one of the best neighborhoods. Price value €160. Bangkok, 2 nights at the best suite in a hotel located in the shopping area of Sukhumvit. Price value €240. He then spent 2 nights in a vintage boutique hotel in Bangkok Old Town, close to all the main attractions. Price value €200. After Bangkok, it was time to fly to Bali and spend 8 days in 4 incredible resorts, including the resort which was awarded the best resort in the world for 2016, with a total price value of €2,250 for the 8 nights. During his stay in these resorts, he didn't only get a free stay for 2 nights with breakfast in each place, but he was given added extras, such as 2 massages for him and his girlfriend at their private spa, 2 free dinners worth over €100 with cultural dances, and even a surprise cake for his birthday, since the staff at one of the hotels noticed it was his birthday during his stay there. 2 of the 4 hotels also offered free transportation to the next destination, saving money on transportation costs too. During his stay in Bali, Antonio was posting daily photos featuring the hotels he was staying at on Instagram. Since 55 Secrets has a big following, his posts reached some of the top Instagram hashtags, such as #Bali and #ExploreBali. Due to those features, he received 2 unexpected emails. One was from a brand new luxury restaurant offering him and his girlfriend a dinner worth around €80. They didn't ask for anything in return, but since he enjoyed the dinner, he posted a photo of this dinner experience too, and he tagged the new restaurant, since that was clearly the goal of the offer. The other offer was even more unexpected. Antonio received an email from Bali Zoo offering a private tour around the zoo, including private encounters with the animals, feeding the animals, and a private elephant ride, worth over €350 for both of them. When they got to the zoo, they had one of the members of the social media team show them around all day. And besides what was already offered, they also provided a free lunch with a view to the tigers and a 1-hour massage in the brand new zoo resort after a full day of exploring the zoo activities. The next stop was Lombok, a less-known destination in Indonesia that is slowly becoming the new Bali, since it's less touristic and has some incredible nature to explore. In Lombok, they also got to stay in 4 different resorts, and the final cost of those 8 nights was worth around €1,900, including 2 nights in a private villa with their own chef. And yes, the 24-hour chef services were also provided free. Targeting a destination that is less well known for tourists turned out to be a good pick, since they were seeking for more exposure, so almost 30% of the hotels and resorts they approached said yes, leaving them with a lot of options to pick the best places they wanted to stay. The last 2 stops were Kuala Lumpur and Singapore, which are 2 big cities where the total of the 8 nights of stays summed around €1,200 of free accommodation. The total cost of the 30 nights would have amounted to around €6,000 just in accommodation costs, not including any of the perks they were given on top of each stay. On arrival to some of the hotels, they were usually greeted by the person they'd spoken to via email, who met them and showed them around. But when this was not available, they made sure to send them an email saying that they had checked in and that everything was going smoothly. After their stay, Antonio always sent an email with links to the reviews they posted and any nice photos or videos they took during their stay, giving permission for them to be used on the hotel's social media as an extra thank you for letting them stay. If you can come up with any extra value you can offer hotels, they will be thankful for it, and you will be more likely to get a positive reply on future partnerships with them. On your first sponsored trips, make sure to save all the content you produce and reviews you publish to use that as proof for your future partnerships. If you send an email to a 5-star hotel asking for a partnership and a free stay, and you can show them your partnership with the Sheraton from your previous stay there, they are more likely to take you seriously. Besides contacting hotels, Antonio also got in touch with restaurants, extreme sports centres, and activities they wanted to do during their trip, and got over 5 activities confirmed, in exchange for 1 Instagram post. During this month, Antonio and his girlfriend saved over €7,000 in luxury accommodation, activities, and food, proving that it is indeed possible to get paid to travel the world and to get sponsors for anything you want. During this trip, Antonio didn't look for any paid sponsorship. That would mean asking for money in exchange for a specific service provided. If you are a photographer, movie maker, website designer, or you have some skill that you can offer to a partner, you can include on your email a request for specific payment in exchange for what you can do for them. Make it an optional add-on for your offer, and if they are interested, they will let you know if they are willing to pay you for that extra. You can use your first free trips to create a portfolio of services to present in the future when you look for paid sponsorships. It may be difficult to get your first sponsorships, but the main idea is to be creative and start small. If you want to get to travel full-time and be paid to do it, your first step is to start local and to pick a niche. If you target a specific niche, you do not need a big number of followers, since you target a specific audience. Let's say your niche is eco-friendly travel. If you have a small blog and 500 targeted followers on that niche, and you email an eco-friendly hotel, you have more value to them than a generic travel website with 50,000 followers. Why? Because your followers are interested in what is specific to the eco-hotel. It's not about the big numbers. It's about having a targeted network that is relevant to your partner. Always think from the partner perspective. If they can get something from you and your network, you will obviously be worth something for them. Personally, every time I look for a partnership, I try to document my experience as well as possible and to provide to the partner as much value as possible. Not only can I use content for the future, but I also leave the partner happy too. In the past, we had a situation where we partnered with a hotel and they liked the experience so much that they emailed us after asking if we would like to spend a few days on their other resort. Obviously, we accepted, and we had a great time. We hope this personal experience helps you to plan your approach to new sponsors. And if you have any doubts about any part of the process, feel free to drop me or Antonio a message, and we will be pleased to help you out with any of your plans or overcoming any problems. Interview with Melissa Giroux from A Broken Backpack. For travel lovers, there's no better job in the world than travel blogging, but there are a lot of misconceptions about the job and what it entails. In this section, we will ask a few questions to Melissa, the full-time travel blogger behind A Broken Backpack. So Melissa, tell us a bit about yourself.
Hi, my name is Melissa Giroux. I'm from Quebec, Canada, and actually I've been abroad for almost 4 years actually. So I've been a travel writer for like 3 years, and I've been working online, living in Asia and here and there, just to make it happen.
Okay, and why did you start your travel blog?
Actually, I was really bored. I was living in Australia on a farm and I wanted to entertain myself. I always loved to write, so I decided maybe I could give it a go and write in English and see how it goes. And here I am 3 years later, making it work.
So you started 3 years ago?
Yes.
Yeah. So do you have a home base, or are you constantly traveling with your work?
Like right now, I think my base, I could say it's Bali. I was living there for like 7 months on and off. And I'm about to go back in a few months too, so I would say Bali, which is a good expat community, a good base for digital nomads, and it's really cheap and it's by the beach.
So in the past 3 years, have you spent most of your time in Bali?
No.
Okay.
I've been living in the UK, I've been living in Australia, a little bit in Portugal, and now Bali for in the past year it was my
okay,
main
you
base.
made that your base.
Yeah.
Cool. So what's your favorite social media app to update your travels with?
I would say probably Instagram.
Yeah, that's the one you use the most.
Yeah, I think it's the easiest one. You don't have to do so much about it. You post a photo, you post stories, and I think most people are on it, so it's easier.
So now, do you make enough money online from your social media and your blog to travel and to live? Is that your main income?
Yeah, so basically I make enough money to live, but maybe I would be more in a survival mode, so I also work as a freelancer. But yeah, I make enough money to be able to be out there basically.
Yeah. How long did it take you to turn your blog and social media into a full-time job?
I would say around 1.5 years. So I was about to visit home and I didn't want to get a job just for a few weeks in Canada, so I decided, okay, let's see if I can make it work. So I took some freelance job and then I tried to focus more on the blog and everything. So back then my main income stream was mostly from freelancing, but it was getting better on the blog. So I think like right now, maybe since a year, I've been able to live with the blog, and then freelance is just like a bonus.
And what freelancing work do you do?
I do a lot of freelance writing. So once you have
Travel writing?
Yeah, mostly. I think once you already have like the blog as a platform, it's a good way to basically show off your work to other people,
Yeah,
and then
sure.
find other contracts basically.
Yeah. So would you say that in the beginning you started with a lot more freelancing work, and then slowly you decreased the freelance work and increased the blog?
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. And that took about 1.5 years?
Yeah, and well, like I would say it was kind of a long process. Like if I go back in time, after 1.5 years, I was not making a lot of money, depending where you live, I guess.
Yeah.
Like let's say if you're based in Southeast Asia, it's a lot easier to survive with less money. But if you're based in Europe, maybe you have to work a little bit more.
Yeah, sure. So do you get to travel for free with your job?
Yes.
Yeah? And how often?
I don't know, it really depends. This year so far I've been on 3 or 4 free trips, and
Okay.
I'm about to go to some others again.
Great. And what does the free trip include? Does it include flights, hotel, accommodation?
It really depends on the trips. Most of the time it includes flights, which is the best part about
Yeah,
my job, I
great.
think. But sometimes it does happen that it don't include necessarily flights, but then we can organize like accommodation, food, and activities and tours, which is still good enough if you're planning on heading that way.
Sure. And how many hours do you tend to work per day?
I would say right now probably 2 or 3 hours a day. Of course I can always do more, but I also want to enjoy my life, so I try not to work so much.
Do you think you need to be tech savvy to be an online influencer or a travel blogger?
Well, I used to think that I didn't know anything about like technology, internet, or how to build a website, and I managed actually to do everything on my own.
Okay.
So I think right now maybe I could see myself as a nerd. But still, there is still a lot of stuff I don't understand, or I don't even have a clue what it is. But there is so many tutorials online that helps you, or like even online course that helps you how to make it possible. So I think you don't need to. You just need to have the will to learn how to do it.
Why did you pick the travel niche and not something else?
Well, I've been abroad for almost 4 years, so definitely like the travel is like a big passion. I think it's a lot easier, and that's what I wanted to do. So,
do you think it's saturated now?
I think it's getting there slowly, but I think if you find a really good idea, like what makes you different compared to other bloggers or like to other travelers, I think that's the way that you need to go. I think for everything, like let's say my friend, he says the thing about the kebab in Paris, like there's so many kebab restaurants in Paris, but if you still have a good marketing strategy, it's not gonna close in 2 months, you know. So I think you just need to find a really good idea and have like marketing strategies for everything you do.
Okay. And so what are the main ways you use to generate money?
I would say mostly sponsors, like so sponsored content, shout out on Instagram, so basically talking about other brands. Otherwise there is affiliate marketing and advertising.
Okay. But for you, mostly sponsorships?
Yeah.
Do you do much affiliate marketing?
I do a little bit. It took me longer to get in that train basically, and now it's getting a lot better, so hopefully like over the next months it's gonna kick off even more.
Okay, great. Do you work with brands and tourism boards often?
Yeah.
What kind of capacity?
So like tourism board is mostly for like basically press trip. Or sometimes just like partnership. Let's say you go to Porto and then you get a city card or something, so that gives you discount and free public transportation. And in terms of brands, I think it's mostly like let's say you become an ambassador for like a brand, so it could be like a backpack, it could be like a travel pillow, or like a bikini, and you just basically show your face using it, and then that's how it works.
Yeah. Cool. How do the contacts usually happen? Do you pitch to them, or do they usually get in touch with you, or both?
So when I started, I was actually pitching a lot. And then like the more I was getting popular, the more people would start to reach out to me. Right now I would say it's probably half and half. So people reach out to me, and then if I'm heading to a destination and I want to collaborate with a tourism board, then I would obviously pitch them, or like with hotels. But most of the time now I reach the point where people reach out to me more, which is
great.
good.
Yeah, that's great. And if you reach out to them, would you have just an email that you would send kind of like a template, and that you just edit a little bit each time?
Yeah, I actually have all my templates sorted, so I just basically change the destination and the goal, and
fantastic.
Try to keep it short and sweet.
Perfect. Do you think networking as a travel blogger is important, and has it played a role in your blog?
Yes, I think networking is one of the big things, because first you can network with other bloggers. So like let's say if you write about a destination, or you write a really good article and you want these other bloggers to share it, and they can share it with their audience, which is going to help you with your own audience. I think that's a good thing. And also they have contacts, so I'm part of different Facebook groups where we all share contacts, we help each other, and like let's say if there is like a new law or a new rule or something, a new social media, we can talk about it, and basically that, you know, like that just help that you cannot necessarily have on your own.
Right,
So
it's a bit of a support network within other
exactly.
bloggers. That's great. So what's the best way for travel bloggers and influencers to network and meet the relevant people?
I think it's definitely Facebook groups,
Okay.
or like big conference events, like let's say ITV in Berlin, which is a big travel fair. There is like events like TBEX, or even like Traverse. They're normally based in Europe, and it's like a good networking conference where you can meet other bloggers, but you can also meet up with brands and tourism board.
Simple question. What do you like the most about your job?
The freedom.
Yeah.
I think like I just need Wi-Fi basically, and you know, like create content about a destination. So I think that's pretty sweet.
Nice. Okay, what do you dislike the most about being a travel blogger?
Traveling with my laptop. I mean, sometimes like I wish I could just enjoy a destination without having to keep in mind what am I gonna write about this, or like is it gonna be interesting for other people, so I need to make it interesting. And then sometimes the only thing I want to do is watch Netflix and relax.
So sometimes you just want to switch off.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's more the pressure around it.
Okay. Do you ever get to do any kind of job that's not online when you travel?
Well, I think when I travel, like let's say I have to think about what I'm gonna create for like content-wise. So like all the photography, or like all the discovering places and stuff. So it's all the part that you don't necessarily see when you travel, like all the misadventures that come with it. And then after, it's just about writing about it and putting it online.
So earlier you said that Instagram is your favorite social media to use. Do you monetize your Instagram?
Yeah.
In what ways?
Sometimes I work with brands or like tourism board to promote a destination.
So if you promote something, that they will pay you instead of just a freebie or a publication?
It really depends. Like let's say if I'm going on a press trip, then of course it's kind of part of the package. But otherwise, like let's say if I work with a brand, or like they want to organize a giveaway to get noticed online, then they will pay me to advertise their product.
Okay. And so just to finish off, what would be one piece of advice that you would give to somebody who just started traveling and is interested in maybe going towards travel blogging?
Well, I would say go for it, put yourself out there. I remember when I first started, I was pretty shy. I didn't want anybody to know I was blogging because I was really ashamed about it for some reason. And then I was thinking at some point, like, if I don't even tell my family and friends about it, that means that nobody should read it. I need to be proud of my work, and then like maybe the word is gonna be like word of mouth. People are gonna talk about it. So don't be shy, even if it's not your native language. I mean, I'm still so amazed that so many English people read what I have to say, and I'm not a native speaker. So if I can do it, you can do it too.
Awesome, that's great advice. Okay, thank you.